Welcome back to the Athletic Aesthetic Podcast. This is episode 4. My name is Vinny. I'm your host. You may know me from social media at VC2Art. I'm really pumped about today's episode. I have my buddy Jake Polino in town. Jake is from Boston. He's a sneaker customizer, viral sensation. You've probably seen him dyeing shoes in maybe coffee or Mountain Dew, root beer, bleach recently. The guy has... If you could think of it, he's dipped shoes in it. Jake actually hosts his own show on the Complex Twitch channel called One of One, which is a show that highlights custom sneaker artists while they have a conversation with Jake as they're doing their thing. And I had an opportunity to be on an episode a few months back, and that's where I first really got to know Jake. And then I've had it in my mind for a while now to have him on the podcast. So I was really excited that he got to come into town. My buddy Zach from the last episode also joined us because he's a local here to Pittsburgh like me. So I was like, and Zach actually was on Jake's show as well right before my episode, which we get into on the podcast. If you haven't had a chance as you're listening to this to go back and watch the video that I just dropped before this podcast, it's a video of us going to Blue Slide Park here in Pittsburgh, dyeing a pair of shoes in Turner's Tea and Iron City Beer, and then doing a full customization kind of contest between Zach and Jake, and it was a ton of fun. You definitely want to go check that out because we get into those shoes that they made on this episode. We get into why they get into customizing sneakers, why they love what they do, what they would do if they didn't customize sneakers, and we just have a really great conversation. So I'm really pumped about it. I hope that you enjoy it. If you check it out, you like this, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. If you're listening on an audio format like Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, make sure you rate and review this podcast. That's how it bumps it up in the algorithm so that other people see it. But appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for checking it out. Enjoy the podcast. This is episode 4, Athletic Aesthetic. Let's get it. All right, before we jump into the interview with Jake and Zach, I just want to shout out to our sponsors, Candelore's Barking Beauties. Candelore's Barking Beauties is local to the Pittsburgh area. If you have a pet, dog, cat, whatever, and you need to keep them clean, you can get their nails clipped, get them, give them a little spa day, get them all cleaned up. My mom has a golden retriever, and if he shakes his head, he's getting slobber all in his head. Like, you got to take care of your pets, right? Go take them to Candelore's Barking Beauties. They do an amazing job. They have 5 full-service grooming salons, so no matter where you're at in Pittsburgh, you can find one close to you. There's no appointments needed. You can just show up. They're open from Tuesdays to Saturdays, 8 to 6. They have boarding and daycare available at their Irwin location. And if you'd like some more information, all you have to do is go to candeloresbarkingbeauties.com, or you can call them at 412-872-5550. Candelore's Barking Beauties, where our salon is your salon. Now, let's get to the episode. We're here.
I'm going to yell again?
Yeah, so would you?
Yeah.
Would you bring us in?
I will bring us in.
All right, let's do it.
Gonna channel it again.
Yeah, I know. Well, you said...
He's turning down.
He turns down. You said you did this in the hotel, right?
Yeah.
And you had to hide under the blanket?
I've done it in hotel rooms 3 or 4 times. If I have sheets and pillows, I can get good sound quality.
Do you need me to get a blanket?
No.
Okay.
No, I could do it.
All right. Let's do it.
The first one was Poggers, dude. It was
true.
Top
was it
tier.
Pog?
It was Poggers.
It was Pog.
It was Pog.
All right, ready?
Yeah, Pog champion.
All right, I'm ready.
What did I say? Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome back, or welcome for your first time to the Athletic Aesthetic Podcast. My name is Jake Polino, and I'm not the host of this show, but I'm the best at what I do, so that's why I'm talking to you right now. Then we have Vinny over here, who is second
Listen,
best,
listen.
or close to
Tired
second.
of being insulted on my own podcast.
You wanted me to bring it in, I brought it in.
All of my guests do nothing but insult me on my podcast.
Right off the
We
rip,
love
Tired
Vinny.
of it.
I joke a lot about that.
Vinny's very talented. He's just not as talented,
I strongly believe I'm the best yeller that there is.
Top 2 yeller.
I don't even want to compete.
Could you try? Could one of you try? Could you try?
I made a video. Remember?
You did. I remember.
Yeah.
I remember it. It was a good imitation.
Would rate it.
What would
Scale
I rate
1 to
it?
10, yeah.
On
on imitation.
how close you were to me?
Yeah.
6.
All right.
That's
it's
not
just
great.
you need the rhythm.
For the audience out there,
great.
that's not great.
You need the rhythm in the voice. It goes
You
up and down.
give me your best.
Okay, wait, what did you say?
Jake Polino.
Just give me
Like if you were making a Jake Polino
a basic
intro.
Jake Polino video.
All right.
Coffee shoes.
What's going on, guys?
Don't say that.
Wait, hold on. You can't interrupt me, bro.
No, because
you can't interrupt me.
Because he has like 0.3 seconds to gain his
Oh,
audience
yeah.
attention. So he's
It's a
like,
3-second
I
hook.
dumped my cold box of coffee.
Okay.
That's what it is.
All right. I got this.
I didn't tell you to turn mine down. Just.
Before we go further, watch that cord.
Is it? Do you want me to?
Oh, it's almost out.
You gotta be careful with that.
Push
mic,
it in. Wait, Vinny, can you just push the
Giggity.
cord in more? Does it go any further?
It's in there deep.
That doesn't look. All right.
It's like you wanted a dripping ice cream.
Is it recording now?
We're good. All right.
Dude, you guys don't understand. I ordered a third arm, and then the Amazon guy was like, hey, I'm like an hour and a half away, and I'm not supposed to be the guy delivering this, so I'm just going to like call in and get it to you. And I was like, well, I need it today, buddy. So I'm holding this, and I have to hold it super tight, or like if you guys listening, like anytime I move,
Is it good?
it's not good.
ASMR.
Yeah.
It's not a, yeah.
Wait, do you want me to do
not
my
a
best
great
impression again? I
scenario.
got this.
You got it?
Yeah, you ready? All right.
Go for it.
You've had a lot of time to think.
All right.
So
Yeah,
I won't
yeah.
talk this time.
Today I bleached my dog. Yep, that happened. I took my dog, I put it in a bath, and I bleached him. It turned out better than expected.
That's a good point. I always say stuff like that.
That was great.
Okay, that's all.
For the
I got.
record,
Thank
my
you.
dog
Well
is
done.
white and cannot be bleached.
Well done.
I do want to put
Well
dye
done.
on him though.
Yeah?
My mom won't let me.
Didn't you do that?
No, I want to. I think he'd look really good in like
Yeah,
a
for
rainbow
sure.
dyed dog look.
That'd be cool.
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'm
for
sure he'd love that too.
He would. He doesn't know the difference. they're colorblind, and he can't. It's not like he's conscious, like staring in the mirror. Like,
Like, fuck, what
I
happened
look
today?
like an idiot. Like,
This is a rough day.
He hates it. Just,
it's like Big Mouth. Big Mouth has a self-conscious dog. Have you seen that?
No.
The
Roof.
cartoon.
Roof.
no.
Yeah. He like looks in the mirror and he's like he gains consciousness and he realizes that he's a dog and he's like,
It's an
"Fuck,
incredible
I'm a dog."
concept. I love that.
Yeah,
It's funny. It's a
absolutely,
good show.
bro.
Yeah. Well, so Jake, you're in town. Everybody watching, Jake Polino from Boston, Massachusetts, in the house. My
Yes.
man flew in, and we're pumped to have you here. Zach was on my last episode of the podcast. We talked about your whole origin story of what made you into the supervillain of Bald Boy
His
Customs.
villain arc.
Absolutely, dude.
And
Defying all odds.
yeah, so if you haven't watched that, go back, check it out. But today we spent the day dyeing some shoes at. So when I texted you not to get down another rabbit hole, you were like, the one thing that I want to do is go to Blue Slide Park.
Yes.
And
that was my only.
Yeah. And so we did that today, and I was like, let's dye some shoes because that's your whole thing.
Classic.
We brought Zach in just because it's like, why not? Like
I'm in town,
Just 'cause.
so yeah.
right, yeah, you're in town, and so we dyed some shoes today. We used Turner's Tea, we used Iron City Beer, which are two Pittsburgh staples, and then we came back here. If you guys watched, and we did a whole customization thing, and we're gonna reveal these. So as you can see them chilling here on the table, I'm gonna
art.
pick your brain on what you guys did, which I'm so pumped about because each one of these is so like uniquely you guys. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Crazy,
And,
crazy different.
How do you
dude.
feel about how do you feel about what?
I mean,
Go ahead.
All right, I'll take it over. I think anybody with eyes knows I won, so we'll just skip ahead to that part. But I think it was a lot of fun competing with Jake, and I felt really bad the whole time, knowing that I was going to win the whole time. So, all in all, I think we had a great day. Ended on a sour note because Jake's going to lose, but I think it was a fun time. What do you think, bro?
In my opinion,
Yeah,
you lost and
Right.
I won.
right.
But
That's okay.
I can respect that you think that you did a good job. Like
Yeah.
you really did put your heart into it, and I
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah.
And like I wouldn't be mean to you, and
Right.
I wouldn't
I
tell you
respect
to
that.
your face how bad they look. But
Yeah.
I'm confident in it. I wish I had more time.
Yeah.
I wish I could have
Yeah.
added more to it.
Me
I
too.
would have.
Well, the good news is
Would've
after
been
this,
better.
you can do whatever you want to.
I don't
But
think I want to do anything. That's what I
No.
was thinking. Like I was
Yeah.
like I could add more, but I think that defeats the purpose. Like,
True.
This is what
Very
they
true.
are.
I agree. That's exactly how I felt,
I
too.
like that. I like that. So yeah, I'm glad you're here. We were talking like when I picked you up from the airport too. It's such a cool connection. I'm so glad you're in town because we actually met through his show
Yeah,
One of
One.
on Complex, and I learned just about you because you were on the episode before me. I was like, oh, this dude's in Pittsburgh. Would have never assumed that because you're just not a Yinzer. Like, you're not like a Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
For those of you who
I
don't
didn't know what that term was until Vinny
Yeah.
explained it.
He was
to
like,
me.
"Is
I
that
thought it
an
was a
insult?"
slur.
You called me like the Schneider. What was the Schneider's tea?
Yeah, there's like a bunch of different kinds of teas in Pittsburgh, and like Turner's is like what we dyed the shoes in. It's like the Pittsburgh staple iced tea. You're like Schneider's, like you're from Pittsburgh. Schneider's from Pittsburgh.
It's in
Fact check.
Like no, just
You have a computer right there, dude.
I was thinking like that.
regardless.
Yeah.
It's like option B in my eyes,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah,
And-
yeah.
And that doesn't mean that you're option B, boo. You know what I'm saying?
That
Like,
was
He
a
is.
terrible way of
He
putting
is.
that.
Yeah.
That was
He's
awful. That makes me feel terrible about myself.
Might be option
my
C.
point is like, you know, like you live in Pittsburgh, but you're not like, it doesn't.
Welcome here is what you're gonna get.
Very true. There it is.
Schneider's is from. We got our approval. Schneider's is from Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah, it is like
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people grow up drinking it in their schools, like in their, you know.
their main
Like-
headquarters thing is like White Oak.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No
what
idea.
that is.
It's a good tea.
Fact check says no.
Yeah.
I don't know. Nobody has any idea.
Show
Whatever.
me White Oak. Oh,
South
South
Hills.
Hills. Oh, okay, cool.
Don't know.
Whitehall.
Oh, okay.
Dude.
All right, sorry. Continue.
fired.
Just we don't even care about Schneider's.
Yeah.
We're talking about Turner's.
Yeah. So, anyways, you're from Pittsburgh, but you don't embody it the way
Right.
most typical Yinzers do.
Right. Yeah,
You know?
that's absolutely true.
So,
bro.
and I don't think that's an insult to you either.
No,
You know?
I mean, I don't know if we talked about it last episode or last podcast, but like, I wasn't from here. Like, I already had opinions. Like, I grew up in New England for most of my life, so whenever I moved here, I was like, I already had teams I liked. I already had an identity of some sorts. So coming here, like, everybody was like, straight up, you know, it's Permanis, it's Turner's tea, it's blah blah blah, and I like those things, but I'm like, I can't. How do I fully embrace something whenever I already had things, you know, I enjoy?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
Let me just say that Permanis was very good. Like you
fire,
guys,
bro.
like a few people said, like you said that foodies wouldn't go there because it's not like good.
Yeah, people that are like,
But I thought it
oh,
was
there's
really
better
good.
places to go. But it's like, dude, yeah, of course there is. That's not what they're going for. They're not going for the most gourmet
Yeah.
sandwich in the
No,
world.
it was
Yeah.
delicious.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like super
Their
greasy,
best-selling
really good.
item on
Like,
the menu is beer. Like, they literally are saying, this is what we stand for. So
Yes.
you got to respect that. I'm
Respect.
glad that you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went there first. It was the first thing we did when we came to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, literally the first DM I got when I landed was I posted a picture saying that I was in Pittsburgh. Someone DM'd me and said, you have to go to Permanis. And like I told you about it and you're like, let's go. And we went.
Yeah.
And it was really good. Like
yeah.
I'm not even hyping it up. Like when I bit into it, I was like, that's good. It had a different taste than I thought it would.
Yeah.
So it was a good sandwich.
Bro, shit busting. I honestly don't.
Jimmy John's too.
Okay. Yeah. No. Our fact check
Not-
says Jimmy John's not good, so
not
we're gonna
sponsored.
go with Jimmy John's not good. Yeah. Thank you.
You do need to know which Permani sandwich did you get.
Yeah.
I
with
just got
Permanis.
the classic pastrami sandwich.
Pastrami and
No
cheese.
cheese though. I can't have cheese.
That's true.
So just pastrami. But when I say pastrami, it comes with fries and coleslaw, which I don't usually like.
Yeah.
But the coleslaw here is good.
Yeah.
And that's all that was in it. It was big, like Texas toast bread, like
Yeah.
thick ass bread, bunch of fries. What's the word I'm thinking of? I can't.
No idea.
I just said it.
Pastrami.
Pastrami,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And coleslaw, and that was it, and it was delicious.
All right, so I want to jump into what we did today with the shoes. I want to, pick
Yeah,
your brain a
let's
little
do
bit
it,
about
man.
what you guys did with
Absolutely.
the design and, where you went and all that
Save
stuff.
the best for last. So
Yeah.
Zach, go ahead.
We'll start with Zach.
I'd be happy.
So for those of you, real quick, before you before you show this, for those of the people that didn't watch the video, we went to Blue Slide Park. Jake said he wanted to go. We dyed shoes in Turner's. I can't remember if I said this yet or not.
I don't know.
Turner's and Iron City Beer. That's what the base was, with a blue check on the shoe, and then they had an hour to customize whatever they wanted with a Mac Miller Blue Slide Park theme, and this is what they came up with. And we also did a trivia game where you guys had limited resources for
Yeah,
the shoes.
yeah.
So if you
Very
haven't
important.
seen that, go check out the video.
Oh.
It's really funny, and
Yeah.
It was a good time.
It was
And
an
I
absolute
kicked
blast.
Zach's ass.
That's-
Once
that's
they
super cute.
tried to slight me by giving all Pittsburgh related questions because I know nothing about it, but I still won. So.
Well, I'll start off by
And
saying I actually just learned today that the word "all" means one, because you got one Pittsburgh question.
No, we did did not.
So
There was
that's fascinating. I
park.
had no idea.
Amusement park one was one of them, and then there was something about the Steelers. 2 questions about the Steelers. That's 3
Yeah.
questions. And then what else? There was another one. I know there was
You
another
got
Pittsburgh.
one of the Steeler
I
questions,
did.
though.
Yeah.
Because he's.
You got 2 of them, didn't you?
I think so, but then there was
No.
another one. I'm missing
Well,
one. There was at least 4 Steelers or Pittsburgh.
Oh, Seagulls.
Pittsburgh questions. There were 4 out of like
Yeah.
6.
Yeah, 4 out of 6 doesn't mean all as well, I guess. So this is super interesting. So
Very,
my
there
shoe.
was a very unubiquitous statement.
Is that even the right word?
Okay, I'm gonna switch these around real fast so you can see them.
How's somebody supposed to
I'm
wear it when the list?
I'm gonna also get some close-up shots too, so
Oh,
don't
okay.
worry too much about
Presenting them.
Just hold it up, and I'll show some close-ups too.
Okay.
Perfect. Oh.
All right. So this is my shoe.
He doesn't sound confident in it. I gotta say,
I-
heard in his voice.
Absolutely, dude. I love this. Okay, so I'll explain my approach to this shoe in a very simple way, right? So to me, I didn't want to go very face value. I didn't want to say like, oh, these are the albums, so that's what I did, because that's ridiculous and shallow, if you ask me. So what I decided to do is think about what Mac Miller embodies, right? So to me, it's like the melodic flow that he has, very beautiful, like everything streams into itself, right? And I went with the Blue Slide Park.
Ask him how many Mac Miller songs he knew before today.
Ooh.
God, including, one.
Name 2.
Donald Trump, Party on Fifth Ave. Fuck yourself.
We played both of those in the car.
Okay, so the point of this actually, though, is we went to the Blue Slide Park, right? And we dyed these in Turner's tea. So I loved how they looked originally in the Turner's tea. So I was like, I don't want to lose all of that. So immediately going into it, I was like, I don't want to cover the whole shoe. I want to accent the parts of it that I do like and take away the parts I don't like by covering it up, right? So then to me, it was all about the flow of the music. It was about the flow of the slide, and everything was like movement in motion in my ideas. So I took the like very iconic triangles that everybody recognizes from Mac Miller. Okay, and then use that
not
to
blue
incorporate
Dude,
the
I
flow of
zoned
it.
out so much when you were talking just now.
Shut up, bro.
I like got so lost.
And-
And then I looked up and Jake made eye contact with me, and we were both just like,
The
Oh,
shoe
so-
flows. The shoe flows and represents Mac Miller because of the flow of his music and the movement it represents. Boom. That's
like
the
it.
shoe.
And we also switched out the laces post-production of the video.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
Zach and I decided that after everything was done, it was okay to accessorize the shoes
Yeah.
with like laces
Why?
and whatnot.
Yeah.
Why did you choose the orange yellow lace?
So I honestly I would have loved one more color. So whenever I got to the end of these, I was like, I need to answer one more trivia question, and I couldn't. So instead, I decided to go with a color that was like warm to kind of accent it. Because I would have gone with like a red or something that really just blew
I
it out
do
the
like
water.
the orange laces. I
Thank you,
will
bro.
say that those tied them together, even
Thank
though they're
you.
still shit.
Yeah.
I
But
thank you, dude. Okay, you want to go?
I will now explain the winning shoe. So we have this shoe over here, which is a beautiful shoe, embodying all of Mac Miller's albums, because that was the theme. It's very simple. I know it's straightforward, but that's how I am. I'm straightforward. So what we have here is all of his albums. We have this one, Watching Movies with the Lights Off, or that's it, right? Yeah. Sound Off.
Oh, he
Watching Movies with
doesn't
the
even
Sound
know
Off.
the album.
That's a long
He
name.
doesn't even know the albums.
I'm drunk. We have the Blue Slide Park, which I took the top of the check off and I made the check into one big slide. And then the triangles too, of course, from that album. Circles which is my favorite album from Mac Miller. Or Pink Circles. The pink is from Divine Feminine, which is the Pink album cover. So I did that. And then on this side, which is his mixtape, Kids, just wrote that in there because why not? And the whole shoe is very chaotic and like messy and whatnot, because I think that was like Mac Miller's whole vibe. Like he just went with the flow of things, and maybe I'm just making that bullshit because I just make things messy. But that's about, I don't know. But
I can't fuck with that part, honestly. I
that,
like that.
the messiness is like a carefree, childish attitude, which is what Kids Kicking Incredibly Dope Shit stands for. So that's why it looks the way that it does, and it does look very uniquely different. Like when I do my shoes, the whole thing is covered in dye. Like Zach does his shoes, it's more methodical and detailed and whatnot. So they are very uniquely different, but they're both very abstract as well.
Right.
So they're similar in that sense, but they have our very distinct styles to them.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you guys
so-
couldn't have
yeah.
more of a different style. Truly.
That was it.
Actually, yeah.
and
This is the
you
shoe.
captured it
Very
totally
colorful.
in these shoes.
I think we both succeeded in every way. I just think Jake's was worse. That's really it.
Fucking bum.
So yeah, we should maybe like open it up to everybody to vote. I don't know, like how we're
You
gonna
want
do
everybody
this.
in here to vote?
No, like as in
Them vote.
yeah. I mean
Yeah,
everybody
absolutely.
votes. Yeah,
Text in. No,
yeah.
no.
Do you want to-
Text in. We're gonna go. What's that?
Give out my phone. Yeah. Leak all my information. Like
There'd be a lot of happy girls out there.
no.
That's true.
It's not. Everybody says that. The followers are so corny to people, I think. I swear to God.
The
like
what?
the followers, when people see like the content that I make, they're instantly like turned away.
Oh really?
Yeah. I swear to you, like so many people are like, girls. And it's like not the case.
It's so weird. Like we went out, and he says that now, but we went out, and he was like, he pulled up his TikTok, and he was talking to some girl, and he was like, look how many followers I have, and that was like what he led with.
That's not true. Wait. That is not a true story. I was like listening, and I was like, did this happen? I was like, no, that's not true.
Wait, what happened?
If I find a way to slip it in, I will slip it in. But I'm not just like, look at this. Like,
It's like, listen,
I'm totally joking for those
I
of
know.
you listening.
He's
I'm not
he's
just.
kidding.
Jake's like, I'm not just looks, ladies. I have a lot of followers too.
Much more than that.
That is, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. Well, I'm so glad you guys were able to do this. This was like
was fun.
incredibly fun, man.
It really
Like,
was, man.
And it's beautiful because we all have talked. I mean, you guys have met in person before, but this is the first time I've met either of you guys.
Yeah.
And like we've just talked through social media, and we each had like 4 hours to talk. Well, we had 2, but 4 hours to talk on the show. So being like acquainted through social media, it's funny to see like how comfortable we are with each other. Like there was no break-in
Yeah.
period. Like we were all just
No,
friends.
Yeah, when we
Definitely
got
not.
in the car, I was like, dude, I feel like I know you.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It was so weird. Like we like picked up where we like never left off. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
facts.
so weird. Like how weird is it that we live in a time where like that happens? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
It's crazy, dude. We're super blessed, to be honest with you. Just in general, like the fact that Jake can be here right now and that we can like just come together, it's just amazing. Because before I met you, I hadn't met anybody in like person at all, and
like nobody in the like
no, and when you
no people.
yeah, I was alone. I was in the closet for
That
23
explains
for
a
24
lot,
years.
to be honest
yeah.
with you. That explains.
No, I just met him
twin
on
brother.
Tinder. Yeah. No, I'm not on Tinder. Not on Tinder.
Zach's girlfriend Rachel is flexing double fists at him.
yeah. I didn't meet my brother on Tinder, just to be clear. No, absolutely
Wait,
not.
please-
Oh,
Absolutely
T Turner's T.
Oh,
We gotta
my
find out.
God.
Give us the Tinder stories.
And anybody
my
that didn't hear that,
God.
Zach's girlfriend from the corner just said, "Tell them what you did with Tinder that you just deleted." Haven't you? Go ahead and tell the people.
If you want my mic, I mean, is this gonna like incriminate you, or is this like?
Oh no.
All right, then
I
go
mean, it
for
seems
it.
like she already knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So
Okay.
I'm a very forgetful person, and I look over small details. You know.
You mean like you came to my house last night and forgot to text all the people that you said you were gonna come hang out with?
This is really a roast fest. This is like super a roast fest. Oh my god. This no, I
was
don't.
gonna get
This
picked
can't
on.
happen.
Oh, we got you
No,
coming
this
next.
can't happen.
This is all payback for like all the times people pick on me on my own podcast. So I'm just
Okay.
relishing in this.
I
that
gotta
was
wait.
one
I gotta
time.
finish that story at least. I gotta
Okay.
finish. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So
Go for it.
So it turns out.
Zach's a douchebag.
It turns out that the people that you love don't appreciate when you still have dating apps on your phone after dating for 5 months. Now, this was news to me. So when I gave Rachel my phone and she saw dating apps, she
I
understandably
did not go through it. I would like to make that clear. I'm not
I see.
Okay, yeah. So I
don't
right,
think
I
that's
did
crazy.
give it.
Yeah, no, I would go through it.
I would, you know,
Hey,
how many,
you know what?
No,
Pull it
no,
up
she
right
really
now and
didn't.
let's read. No, I'm just kidding.
No, she really didn't go through it. But the point is, I didn't think that it would matter as long as I didn't use them. I didn't realize it was a thing to just literally obliterate your dating apps after. So when I realized, hey, okay, it makes sense that if you keep dating apps, somebody who you're dating probably wouldn't like that. I deleted them.
Okay.
That's the story.
so you weren't using it.
No, I would never fucking use it.
Okay, I see. I don't think Zach would do that, if I'm
I
going to be
would
honest.
never fucking do that.
Yeah.
Never in a
But, you know.
million years.
Wait, didn't you guys meet on a dating app? Ooh.
Ooh.
Yep.
So he's got some game on a dating app.
Will you... So
How did?
let's
wait.
say... Wait, hold on, sorry. Let's say, because I dealt with a Tinder like relationship too. Let's say you guys got married, had kids. Would you tell them that you met on Tinder, or would you make something up? Like it is, or
I-
more classy.
it is more classy. You're right.
What would you say, baby? Yes or no?
I don't care.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
okay. Yeah.
Originally, so
People, like, look at it poorly.
I friend zoned him after.
Ooh,
And then
friend
after
zone.
it developed into.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, how could
okay.
you not like?
Right.
This is going a very interesting direction.
Yeah, I did not expect this to be a topic, but I love
No,
it.
nobody
this is
has to
great.
know about me, Vinny, and Zach either. Let's just keep that.
Your guys' dating lives.
Yeah. What?
Oh, you're married.
Yeah. I'm
Wait, can they hear Rachel right now?
Probably a little bit, right? Not much.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Sorry.
okay. That's
I've
what-
been trying to echo what she says.
Yeah.
The important stuff. So
All good.
It's like
Yeah.
slight.
Right.
it's all
Okay.
good.
So that was
But,
a lesson learned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dating apps, I don't like them. They suck.
You just told me that you matched with someone on Tinder.
Yeah, I did.
4 minutes ago.
Yeah, literally the only one that I got while I was in Pittsburgh. Stupid. And then her bio, the only thing in her
Oh, yeah,
bio
it's true.
was don't swipe right if you're white.
Yeah.
I am Caucasian if you cannot see. So I'm the exception, I
You're
guess.
kind of white.
I'm like I'm pretty white. Like I'm very
Kind
pale.
of white. You're
I
like,
am part Egyptian.
Really?
Yes.
Prove it.
I'll pull up the DNA. Oh, it's on my phone.
This is the weirdest trajectory for this
2%.
podcast I could possibly imagine.
2.3.
bro.
You're like 2.9. No, I think it's 2.
What?
I think it's 2.9.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's not go for it.
Yeah.
Hey, so what are you guys' political views? No, I'm just kidding. You guys vaccinated? You
I am indeed.
He's having a blast now.
Something I did learn to change the subject. Something I did learn about you is that you do your own tattoos.
Some of
And
them.
that was an interesting thing that I learned. And we went on Amazon. I was gonna let you tattoo me on the podcast.
Which would have been so
we
hard.
couldn't get a tattoo machine.
I didn't know that was gonna happen.
Well, we couldn't get one sent here in time. I couldn't even get a microphone arm sent here in time. So
yeah,
Tough.
you know,
I'll
but
let
we
you.
were gonna do it. And
I've been fire.
but the reason I brought that up is just because like this whole trip, I feel like I've learned so much about you. And like I feel like every time I hang out with you, like now learning about the whole like Tinder thing, like I learn so much more about you every time.
I'm so happy we can
And
learn so much about
I
each other.
wish you were in town. Like I wish you lived here so that we could do this like
That's what I'm
regularly.
saying.
This would be
No,
so
for
much
real,
fun.
bro.
I wish we all lived somewhere warm. That's what I like. I wish I wish everybody lived in the South. I don't want the weather that we have.
Yeah, that's rough.
Like
That's
this
fair.
weather today wasn't bad because the sun did come out, but most of the day it was
Yeah.
like literally what Boston is, just gray every day, which is horrible.
Yeah, it sucks.
10 months out of the year it's just gray and misty and rainy.
You said you'd go to Miami.
I would go to Miami, yeah.
Where would you go, Zach? Or would you pick here?
Oh, where would I go?
Yeah.
Dude, I love New England. I think New England's fire.
That's awful.
I love
terrible
different
choice.
weather. Like I actually love the cold. I used to play hockey for ages, like most of my early life.
I also don't believe that.
I don't care. Amen, brother. So
Not good enough
I
to be
love
the
the
cap-
cold.
not
I love
good
the
enough
rain.
to be the captain.
I used to go bike riding in the rain all the time. So like literally all the
That's
weather
such
I
a
love.
weird thing to do.
Bro, I just love life. I don't know how else to put it. Like the
Bike
shit that
riding in
happens
the
in
rain?
life. Yeah, you just
Isn't that
take
a
your
Frank
shirt off
Ocean
and go
song?
bike riding in the rain.
Solo? Isn't that
Yeah.
Solo?
I
Biking.
have no idea.
Somehow,
Yeah, in thunderstorms. Yeah, that's true. But I was gonna say so earlier. Like I do feel very blessed in moments like this because like it is rare that you actually get to meet like people from social media. Like
yeah.
it really, really is. Especially people that like are busy, right? Like all of us have our own lives and our own agendas on things, and like to just drop it and say like we're gonna spend 3 days together is like actually incredible. So, and especially it's something I will never forget. So I'm very appreciative you could come down, and I'm very appreciative of you for setting it up because
man.
Yeah, it was all Vinny. Vinny was the one that made it happen.
I know.
So.
Appreciate it.
I know.
Yeah.
No, I've had a lot of fun here. I'm glad I got to meet you guys. So,
Yeah. So let's go back to these shoes again.
Yep.
Okay. As far as like your styles, right? I know we talked a little bit about yours. How did you get into customizing? What is like your kind of like brief origin story?
I never like talk about it because when I'm on the show, I ask people about that. So it didn't really like, there isn't a crazy story to it. I think it's very similar to everybody else's. Like, I knew I was a sneakerhead, and the first time I bought Angela's paint was to do a restoration on some infrared 6s, I believe, like the old bread varsity 6s. And I did that. And the first time I did my custom, I actually wrote down each coat that I did because I thought that was super important, like how many coats there were. So I was like, 6 coats here, 6 coats here. And I would like give time in between it, like super technical. Now it's like, do it until it looks okay.
The
Kinda wild.
opposite of technical.
Yeah,
it's
it's
kind of
just
wild
like, go.
actually. I didn't know that.
So yeah, that's how it started. And then I did like a custom for one of my friends on some Air Forces where I painted the whole midsole, which now I know that you can't do. And then from there, that was like when I was like 16-ish. And then 18, I had like a customizing business where I would make like shoes for my friends. And it was the basic like Louis Vuitton drip or like, I don't even know what
Zach's
else.
cringing.
Yeah, like it was the most cringy like basic things. But that's how I got into customizing.
Yeah, you all start somewhere. You know.
Because like the people that would order from me would send me pictures of things that they saw.
Yeah.
Like
we talked about this on the last episode, and there's like nothing wrong with it.
No,
Yeah.
not
Like
at all.
Zach has a totally different avenue that he's in, and he's full speed
Yeah.
ahead
Oh,
in that.
yeah.
But there's no shame in any sort
Definitely
of
not.
customization.
I think
game.
there's
Facts.
2 different like roads that customizing takes. I think like you could do what Zach's doing and make it into like a fine art thing.
Right.
And then there's other people who just like cookie cutter, I'm doing this to like make a living because they enjoy it. And there's nothing wrong
Yeah.
with that. Like it's less artistic that way because you're not like doing what you want to do. You're just kind of like pumping things out for people, but it's, a living and it's respectable.
Yeah.
So after I did that for a while, like the stupid shit I didn't want to do, I put that down and I was just going to college. And then the TikTok thing kind of brought it out in me because that happened after like a breakup. And I was in the gym with my friend David and the basketball gym. And we made a video and just posted it on TikTok and it did well. We didn't think it would. We just did it for fun. And it did well, and then I started to do them more and more, and like long stories.
What did you do? Like you customized something? In
No.
You
We
were
just played basketball, and it did well. And that was the first video I posted. Actually, it's not the first video I posted. I posted another one, but I deleted that one. So
What is it? Come on, bro. I just told you about my
it was
Tinder.
the first one. Actually, was me customizing shoes for my ex's birthday because it was her birthday present, and then she broke
So
up
it
with
was
me
with
on
customs.
her birthday.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Which was shitty. But that's why I was in the basketball. I was in there every day, and David was home too. And like we both shouldn't have been in that situation at the same time. Like weird things happened. So we were both there, and we made that video about basketball, and it did well. And then I just started making more videos. Then I had like a steak video with pineapple do well, where I cooked the steak using pineapple. I didn't know if you knew you could do that, but it tenderizes it very well.
Really?
And it doesn't taste like pineapple. A lot of people think it does, but it doesn't. That one went viral, like 2 million views or something like that.
Really?
And then there was like a t-shirt video where I taught people how to put pictures on a
Oh, yeah.
t-shirt, which works. It's a real like DIY thing. And then from there, like I was signed to like a talent agency or whatever, and they pushed me to do more DIY shit.
Sure.
So it was just all like pants or t-shirts. Because I didn't have the money at that time to go buy Air Forces and just like experiment with.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was just doing like t-shirts or like the street signs,
Yeah.
which I would buy on eBay because they were cheap. You can buy signs on eBay
Yeah.
and Amazon.
We drove past a few today, and you were like, I want to go. Get
I
that
do
stuff.
have a collection of street signs. Every time I see a cool one, I want to keep it.
Yeah.
That's just, I like them. I think
I'd
they're
love
cool.
to see
seen
you
it
try to
one-of-one.
check that at the airport. Like,
Yeah,
just
that
like-
would be interesting. So I did that for a while,
The
just
back
like
guy looks
anything,
like a triangle.
anything I could think of, and it was artistic, but it wasn't shoes.
Right.
And then last March, I did the shoes dyeing, like a shoe dyeing video,
Right.
and that did well. And I did more after that, and then I just kind of followed that path. And
Did you ever think that this is what you'd be doing?
No, like
What do you think you'd be doing if you didn't do this?
that's a good question. I have no idea. I was going to school for entrepreneurship, so I was in a business field, and I knew I wanted to do something for myself. I wanted to do like, I had like a sweatshirt company at one point. I wanted to own a company, and like, I never wanted to work a regular desk job. That was never my goal. So I don't know what exactly I would be doing, but it would be something.
When do you think you realized that? Like, because I know for me, I've worked. I think we talked about this. I've worked every job possible, as far as like being a waiter. I've done car sales. I've done, retail.
Literally from like, as soon as I like knew a job I had, like as soon as I was old enough to know I needed a job to live, I was like, I don't want to do something boring. Even when I was a kid, I would like take parts from shit like phones and whatnot and put them in a thing because I was like, I'm gonna invent something one day. That never happened, but like I always wanted to like do something like that.
Yeah.
I don't have that knowledge.
What was your first job?
Delivery. I was a delivery boy for a food place, and I actually loved that job. That was a good job because I had tons of freedom. Like I could go and nap in the car if it was like slow, and the lady would like that ran the thing would like come out and like knock on the window and like give me the food.
Yeah.
And it was good money. It was all tips.
It's
And then I worked
guys.
at Marshall's. That sucked.
You said that.
I worked at Foot Locker. That was worse.
Wow.
That was horrible.
Foot Locker, you didn't like that?
Horrible
What
job.
didn't you like
I worked
about
at
It's
Finish
because
Line.
of the location. Because the place I was in was in the middle of Boston. It's in downtown Crossing. And people would just come in all day long.
Yeah.
And none of them, like, I would say 90% of, they're not 90, like 70% of them spoke a different language. So it was very difficult to get past that.
That's tough, yeah.
Like, because there's different sizes. Like, there's 41, and then there's Europe sizing, Chinese sizing, Europe sizing, U.S. sizing, women's kid sizing. Like, there was tons of conversions, and then people didn't know what I was saying. I didn't know what they were saying, so it was hard to get past that.
Yeah.
And then you had to go down
that's-
2 flights of stairs just to get a shoe for somebody.
You said it was Foot Locker?
Foot Locker,
That
yeah.
makes sense, yeah. Us sneakerologists at Finish Line actually knew like several languages. All the
Yeah,
different
I'm sure
conventions.
you did. Totally.
It was all in our basic training.
Wow, I had
Yeah.
no idea, dude.
So,
We were sneakerologists, so
I would go to Disney with my family, and during a whole day at Disney, I would get like 12,000 steps. Or, no, like 19,000 steps. And that was what I would get in like 4 hours at working at Foot Locker. Because I would just go up and down the stairs all day for people not to buy the shoes.
yeah.
And
your
it sucked.
calves were probably ripped.
I was getting so much cardio. Like, it was a good workout every day.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it was just stupid because even if you sell so much, you get like nothing on commissions.
Yeah.
Oh. We actually had a great commission program at Finish Line. Like
You sound like a spokesperson.
He's just
now.
he's like trying to sell me on
We
it.
at Finish
Like,
Line.
why
try
don't you
it
come?
again.
Why don't you come
Spokesperson
work at Finish Line? No, I loved it. It was definitely like one of my favorite jobs that I ever had, and I've genuinely liked every job I ever had. And I don't know like why, but I have. Like there's never been a job that I've left and I've been like,
Yeah.
I burn a bridge and left.
Yeah.
Like I've genuinely liked it. What was your first job?
So I don't remember what my first job was, but the job
It's
that
not an obvious thing.
I'm
I know.
well,
It's pretty easy.
well because you work like okay, so I guess my first job technically was like mowing lawns, right?
Okay.
So
That
like
counts.
but my first like job like I had to, got paid hourly for was I worked in a waste disposal warehouse. So we like
Trash man.
my brother. No. Honestly, it really wasn't actually. So we'd go to collections. I think I talked about this on the last podcast too. So I won't go into full detail on it. But like, essentially, we'd collect like paints in old CRT TVs that weighed like fucking 60 pounds. We'd take them from people's cars and not damage the car. Obviously, you know how hard it is to take a 60-pound TV out of a car that
Yeah.
is like 4x4,
Yeah.
right? Without scratching anything in the car. So we do that all day on Saturdays, and then the rest of the week take it back and sort them and stack those TVs, paint, electronics, everything.
Sounds
So
awful.
that was what I did for a summer. Yeah,
That's rough.
it was
It's a
it
good
was wild.
workout too.
It was a great workout, dude. That was
why
miserable.
you're-
So I cannot relate.
Probably why you're so beefy.
That's true, bro. Check the Instagrams, man. Get some
I
close
know
ups.
Zach today on the Instagram was hilarious, and yesterday with the flu.
Yeah, I've
The
had so
flu.
many people message me and said, "This dude's wild."
You're just a character.
That's crazy.
I just do what I want as long as it's legal and I won't get judged for it.
As long as it's legal, that's boring.
Yeah, and you won't get judged. So that's not doing what. That's the opposite of what you want, right? You said I do what I want, unless it's not illegal.
There's constraints.
That's fair.
Those are the most constraints possible to follow that
That's
statement.
fair. I guess the
Unless
judgment
somebody
is less
doesn't
so.
want me to do it, or if it's illegal. Like,
I guess the judgment is less so at this point. That's a fair point, honestly. Maybe I need to rethink the description of how I tell that.
Yeah. What would you be doing if it wasn't for shoes?
I too went to school for business and fine art. So I was on the financial advisor track before this,
Oh yeah.
which
I
was
did know that about you.
just awful.
Yeah.
Just in every fucking way. It was god awful. But so I mean, I like to think I wouldn't be doing that, but then after that I went to brewing and I was an assistant brewer, and that also sucked. So I'm sure that's great for somebody, but I really don't know because I just hopped around trying to find something
So
I
you've
liked.
kind of hated every job you had, and I'm on the opposite side where I'm like, I've loved every job.
That's what I was gonna
Yeah.
say. Yeah, I haven't hated everything, but I found very good reasons to not want to do it anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel that.
I just didn't have the motivation. Like, I had no motivation to do the work. If I could be the best at what I did, and I would always try to be the best at what I did, but it wouldn't matter
Right.
pay wise. Like, you
Yeah.
could work 10 times as hard as the person next to you, and you're getting paid the same amount, which doesn't
Yeah.
make sense to me. Like,
Right.
if you're working harder than somebody, you should get paid more for them because it pays off eventually.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So I got to ask you this. As far as like your jobs, all these things, because there's a ton of people probably that will listen and be in the position of maybe they're still in their first job, or maybe they want to like launch a sneaker customization thing, or maybe they're like passionate about something else, music.
Yeah.
You know,
Anything,
they
yeah.
want whatever you're watching, and you're like, this is what I really want to do, but this is what I'm actually doing.
Yeah.
Like, what's a piece of advice each of you would give to that person?
I got a good one.
all right.
So, first, there's a job for everything. Like, you can make literally anything into a living. If you like to do, like, if you like to pick flowers or, like, look at flowers and do something with them. I don't know. The most random thing you can think of, there's a way to monetize it and, like, make money off of it, especially with social media. That's the best thing. No matter what you're doing, get on social media right now. Like, that's the only way to grow it's free advertising. Like, we were talking about it, I think, on the car ride here. Like, how did people get their shit out before the internet? You had to pay radios or TV or put it in the newspaper, and you're getting like, it takes one video to blow up now, and you can get what you want. So there's that, and also like, don't wait for anything. My dad had good advice for me. He said, like, make mistakes now while you don't have a kid or a house or like serious
sure.
bills and shit like that. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
or
have
you could be
crazy
like me with
responsibilities.
all those things and just currently making mistakes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Which is why your
It's
situation's
never
even
too
crazier.
late, but you can take bigger risks when you don't have
Yeah.
others
True.
depending on you.
Yeah.
So like, if you're young and you don't have that shit, just do it. Because like, I could lose all my money tomorrow and I'd still have a roof over my head, which is a great thing, and I'm very happy
True.
about it. But that's the thing. Like, don't wait, and whatever you can do, think of a way to monetize it, because there is a way, like 100%. And just do it. Just go for it. And if it doesn't work, this is the big piece. If it doesn't work, try something else. Because a lot of people will just say, like, push for what you want forever. But if it's not working for a long time, it's good to try something else. You know what I mean? And sometimes it does pay off in the end.
So I want to actually alter the question for you, because you have a very niche thing that you're super passionate about. And I'm sure there might be someone listening thinking, there's no chance, like, yeah, I love that. Like, that's great, but there's no chance there's enough of a market for what I'm passionate about to be successful.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're kind of there.
Yeah.
Because you're doing something very new.
Right.
And it's like hard to like communicate that to people. Like, you just launched your sticker project with
Yeah,
your
the
AR
mixed
stuff,
reality,
mixed
AR
reality.
stickers, yeah.
Incredible stuff. If you guys haven't checked it out, go to his page. Also, you guys have a collaboration shoe that you put out together that is still available.
Yep.
Still up for sale.
All the money going straight to charity,
For
too.
charity.
100% of it.
For what, mental health awareness?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, and so that is incredible. We'll put your tags in the description below this, but you guys have to go check that out. Go cop some of his stickers, because they're going to be worth money someday. And
Thank you, bro.
they are the coolest flex that anybody could ever possibly have in their like repertoire of like, check out this thing.
I got
have.
one for free.
Yeah, you were part of one of the initials. The initial
friends and
like.
family.
And you sent me number 13, which I thought was on purpose, but it wasn't.
I wish, honestly.
I got
dude.
one,
I
too.
should have just taken credit for it.
I was like,
but
how'd you know that?
Yeah.
Thank you.
But yeah,
like,
man.
I didn't.
So what would you say to the person who's like, I have like a very niche thing, and I don't know if there's a market for it.
Well,
But they're super passionate about it.
right. I think Jake's point of there's a way to monetize everything is very true. I mean, I've been very vocal about the point that like I've struggled to find ways to monetize something that doesn't exist. You know, like you don't know if things are failing or just haven't caught on yet, and you only have so much time in your head, right?
Good point.
So you need, like, I highly recommend getting as creative. You need to set priorities of the things that you want the most. Don't compromise those, and then find anything else you have to do to make money until you can figure it all out. That's why I'd say for the person that would 100% knows this is what they want to do and they're committed to making anything happen that's possible, that's great. Like, make your priority that, but then understand that you're going to have to do things you probably don't want to do if it's not working, so you can make that a reality in the future.
Yeah.
That is a good point to tell if it's failing or just hasn't caught on yet.
Yeah.
Because there are, like I've mentioned to you, there's artists that I know of who have worked for like 10, 15 years and got no luck, and then in the past year blew up and like made more sales than all of that time put together.
Yep.
So if you really strongly believe in something and you know that it's gonna work eventually, just keep pushing at it, and
Yeah.
it will. Like, if you push at something hard enough, it will eventually work out.
Yeah.
And by push too, I will say it's not just doing it. You have to get creative with what you're doing. Like, you have to try to find new ways to build community around it. You have to try to find new ways to like push it and market it and like try to understand trends of things. Like, you have to understand, you have to live in your own world for like 10 years and fully understand what you're trying to do before you can teach other people what you're trying to do.
Right.
And that's like the hardest thing. And,
Yeah.
and that's exactly it though. It's like you have, if you're going to keep going, then keep trying new things while encompassing what you're trying to do.
Yeah, when I mentioned like change things up, like it could be anything. Like for me, it was my video format and what I was doing in my videos. For
Right.
other people who have like clothing brands, it might be like try some new designs,
Yeah.
or, like try a new fabric, try like a new approach to your marketing, something like that. Same thing with
Right.
music too. Like if it's not working, like try a new beat, and if it works, if it doesn't work, move on.
Yeah.
Like move around until something
And-
sticks.
And working is so like fluid, where it's like, you know, like what works for you isn't like even really necessarily my goal. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
honestly, like I could, and this sounds so like I'm trying to like cover up, but I'm like, I genuinely don't care about views as much as like actual, and I don't even want to say like it's about the art either, because I do a lot of commission stuff. I do a lot of stuff that I'm like, I'm doing this because I'm getting paid to do this.
Right.
But you know, like I think there's a balance between like what you guys are saying, and talked about switching up your like video format to get like more views or whatever. Like your success, because you have a successful like future in actually entertainment and having a show and hosting and doing stuff like that. And like the more views, the more successful that's gonna be. And so you do some stuff that like is dope, but like you're just trying to get as much, you know, views to get
Yeah.
traffic to your channel. And
That's
there's-
my business. is
and that's
views.
awesome. So
Yeah.
like if your goal is that, then switching up your format and you're like, but identifying what is success for you
Yeah.
is totally different for everyone.
100%.
Like for me, like we've talked about it, is like success for me is every time I get to pick up a brush. Doesn't matter if it's a commissioned piece, doesn't matter if it's something, it's just every time that I get to do this thing that I love, even if it's a project I'm not super passionate about, I know that this is providing income for me to be able to continue to do what I love, and then those passion projects come around and I'm like, I'm in a place to fly you to Pittsburgh and do a podcast. But if I would have said no to all these like orders and just said I'm just gonna get a part-time job instead of doing these things, I'd be burnt out and working and doing all these things. So like there's no shame in whatever your avenue is. It's figuring out what is success for you.
You need a goal. You need some sort of like thing to aim for. Like if it's sales, or if it's views, or if it's like to get signed to a record label or something like that. You need to chase something and like go little by little. You know what I mean?
Kind of like
Yeah.
work subtractive. Like I think a
Yeah,
lot of people
very
start
much
here
so.
and they're like, okay, I'll do this good, and then I'll add this, and then I'll add this because my end
Yeah.
goal is here. Like you start at your end goal and be like, okay, how do I work kind of backwards from that? What's like the step before that? Okay, well, I'm not there yet. What's the step before that? Okay, well, I'm not there yet. What's the step before that?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And that's what I mean by priorities too, is like if your priority is if you could have the wherewithal and the understanding of yourself to say like, this is what I like doing, this is where I want to be, this is my ultimate goal, here are the things I need to do to get there, and then prioritizing the small things every day you can do to get that next step along the way is the way it works, in my opinion. Because like it is, at the end of the day, you can have the biggest dreams on the planet, but if you don't figure out how to like break it down into things you can do on a daily basis to achieve that, they're completely useless. You'll never achieve them.
Yeah.
It's like nobody's gonna come if you don't have a portfolio of all these things that show why you should be up here, then like why would somebody just come along and say like, oh, you tell them that you want to do that, and then they're just like, yeah, no, that makes sense, and then they just bring you all the way to the top. It's not gonna happen. So you got to. It is exactly. It's the step.
And I don't like when artists like that are actually they've made it. They're doing art full time. Are like, you know, identify your goal. You can do this. Like you got to do more. Like blah 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 blah. Like I hated my job. Like there's no shame. And this is maybe like the typical Yinzer in me. If you're like watching this and you're like, oh, maybe I do need to like. If you're satisfied and you genuinely love what you do. Yeah. And you pour concrete for a living, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Like there's
I
no
agree.
like it. This is not a thing for everyone, and that's not like a entitled statement. That's like it's like it just isn't.
Why would everybody enjoy this? Like it's
Half the time I don't enjoy it.
yeah, right.
It's very stressful.
And we have a super deep passion for
Yeah.
it too. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why identifying your success, like some people's success, they come from like a broken home. They come from parents who were alcoholics. They come from like a divorced house, a split house, like whatever, like your trauma or whatever your life was that led up to where you are. Maybe success for you is just having a house and a roof over your head and a job that pays you and a family that loves you and all that stuff. So like it's so easy for us to like sit on a couch and be like, we do this stuff and we made it and we're here and like you should do it too and inspirational, but it's so like I always just want to like put that reminder out there. I like that a lot. You know, like doesn't matter where you're at, like find your success and then
I mean, like I said, it's very stressful to do stuff like this because like there's no boss, there's no security to it. Like we could just, if I don't make a video tomorrow, I don't have a career anymore. Like it's that simple. If the views go down, same thing. Like if you got no orders or you got no orders, you know, like it's gone. Like there's no security to it and it could fall flat on its face at any point, which is very stressful. And some people don't want that. They want the security. They want the benefits.
And it goes back to what you said about like whatever you're passionate about, you have to build a community for it because in those moments where you're like, I'm just going to quit, you need like a community of people to kind of like keep you going. So I love that you always are all about the community.
Dude, I mean, I can't reiterate enough that like, I truly believe after meeting you and like now being here with you guys and just having a room full of people that are just beautiful, loving people.
He's gonna cry.
No, I'm not gonna cry. I'm just saying.
Waterworks are coming.
I'm just saying all of the connections and Instagram followers in the world, it wouldn't matter because like this, it's always been about people and it always will be about people, right? So like we took our relationship on social media and brought it here and like this is what's gonna help us build, right?
Yeah.
And like I genuinely think that's how it is for everybody. That's why I'm like, if it takes you 5-10 years to build a community around whatever you're doing, like if you ever get that, they will not let you fail. There's no way. No matter how deep your days get and how bad things get, like they won't let you fail. And then that kind of goes back to what you were saying, where it's like, you know, views are amazing, and like sometimes like that's what you have to do, like that's your job. But like if you have that community and like you're passionate about it, you're good to go.
Yeah,
it's good to have people that'll help out. That's why I love being like part of everything. Like I know I have people I can rely on.
Right. Well, I'm glad you were here, man. This has been great.
I'm very happy
seriously,
to be here.
Such a good conversation. I think this won't be the last time. Probably have you on this show. And
no, you guys need to come to Boston next time.
I'm down.
Or we all need to go to Miami.
Miami.
I just like the sun. I hate the fucking clouds, like all the time.
I know the gray skies are rough.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. Although I think this kind of guy, he's the kind of guy that likes that.
Fuck off, bro.
I mean, like,
let me out of this podcast.
I feel like if you
let me out of this fucking
if
podcast.
you stepped into the sun, you would turn that chili red.
Let me out of the podcast, please.
All right, that's the episode. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I had so much fun filming it. I know everybody involved did as well. Before we go, I just want to thank you for watching. If you're a part of this podcast, if you listen to this, the audio format, or you watch this on YouTube, I really appreciate you. If you have a second, please hit the subscribe, rate, review this on all the Spotify, iTunes, all that kind of stuff. Really, really helps keep this thing growing. And I want to grow it. I want to do more fun things, include more fun people. And maybe you're watching and you have an idea, send it my way. Shoot me a DM. Find me on Instagram at VC2Art. And before we go, I do want to shout out a few more people. CaddisKicks_ on Instagram. Go follow him. He supplied the shoes that we customized for this video. Shout out to Jake Polino, my guest. Again, go follow him. And It's Bald Boy on Instagram. Go follow both those guys. And a special shout out to Rachel and Nathan. Nathan is Zach's brother that you may have seen in the video that I posted before this podcast. And Rachel is Zach's girlfriend. She and Nathan actually followed us around all day, shot all the stuff at the park, and really helped us capture that day. I wouldn't have been able to do it without them. So a shout out to them. This has been episode 4 of the Athletic Aesthetic Podcast. I appreciate you guys being here. Until next time. Peace.